Welcome to Shining the Light on Our Community. And of course, I'm Sophia from Our Sacred Community. And today I have a very special guest, really, really special guest with me today, because we're getting into the importance of listening and connecting and how that connects with the mind and body. I love all this stuff. But first, let us welcome Jarne. Thank you for joining us, Jarne. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. Let me just introduce you a little bit for all our listeners who are listening to this live or on the replay, because you have a very interesting story. So you're from Germany?
That's right.
Yes. But currently here in Australia. Our blessing, Australia. And you're also a healer, an intuitive, a psychic, a natural cosmic channel, a speaker, and your passion is to guide people back to their own healing abilities, which, again, that touches my heart, because I really think that we all have the ability to heal. We're all healers. In different forms and in different modalities. But I love it how, guiding people back to our own healing abilities. And I want to know more about that. So again, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
What I'd love to do is just to start off with you. Tell us about your journey and how you got to where you are now, not just Brisbane, but how you got to the space of where you are in your life.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. And yeah, my name is Jarne Grossstueck. And yeah, it's been a journey. It really has been a journey. When I remember me back, I remember basically my whole life in a movie. The first memory I have is laying on the back and contemplating about what is going on, and always felt different, always felt weird, felt misunderstood my whole life, and did not really allow myself to express my emotional states. I always had this inner knowing of why people acting a certain way, the reasons behind that, and always contemplating about the energies and the frequencies, rather than being very, very attached to the material world. So it was very difficult for me to express that, because I did not knew about spirituality, really. No one told me about psychic abilities and intuitive gifts. But from the age of 10, I really came to a place where it turned out to be too much for me to a certain degree. Felt very, very lonely, wrote letters that I don't want to live anymore. But received the information that I should stay, and that would be selfish to leave, because of the loved ones, that I have to leave something behind. So I started to experience a lot: parties, drugs, alcohol, smoking for years. But Australia 3 years ago really changed my life. Started to expressing myself, started coming out of my comfort zone. Really learning to just be who I am, without the feeling that other people judge me of who I am. No one knew me, so I could start anew. Yes. And then, a massive shift. Really, the biggest recently happened almost 2 years ago, when I got hit by a car on a highway as a pedestrian, and not knowing how I ended up there, but waking up in the emergency car, looking at this man, asking him what has happened, and as he said, "You were walking up the highway, mate." Something in my system just switched. And I had the thought, like, now or never. So I saw myself becoming the best version of myself instantly, healed very quickly from that accident, and really day in and day out do what I love, and really following my heart, and really went on this beautiful journey of really self-discovery even more. And now I'm really dedicating my life to really helping other people to really find back to their own healing abilities.
Yeah. Thank you. And what you just shared, I can really resonate with. Growing up and feeling that you don't belong here, feeling that you're very different, feeling that that you're different from everyone else, and you don't fit in this physical 3D world. So I hear you on that. And isn't it amazing that the universe, if I can say, guides us to places and to situations that at the time may not seem the overall, positive, the best things. I'm sure there's other ways of coming to realizations besides being hit on a road, but that accident, that situation has now got you to where you are now.
That's it. And I really found back to listening. And this is what you mentioned earlier. And
listening.
What I really believe is that we all know our own personal truth, our individual truth. We all know it. And we know what feels right for us and where we have to move. And sometimes it's also some darker places we want to experience for us to grow, to learn, to expand at another level and to make a contribution to the world.
Yeah. But how do we actually do that? Because I agree with you. Like, I really know for me that our bodies and within us, whether it's within our bodies or within our soul, our spirit, that we have the answers to everything. We have the answers to what we're supposed to be doing, to our path. We have the answers to where we're supposed to be and everything else. And whatever question we have the answers. But in today's world of, craziness, and I don't even know what they're calling it now. It used to be the quickening. Now it's like, I think now it's just the maddening, that everyone is time poor. I don't have the time. I can't sit down and listen. I don't know what I'm doing. How do we get back to that state where we can really listen to ourselves?
It starts with yourself. Each single one of us, we have to stop looking for the solutions in the external world and looking for short-term satisfaction, for long-term suffering, rather than sitting with ourselves in silence, really feeling. All comes back to feeling, and feeling what is right for us. Really connecting to our feeling, to who we are, rather than just going out there and looking for external proof. We have to go within. And for me, it was also difficult because we're all here also to have those human connections. But it's about how can we bring our unique way, how we perceive the world, to the world. How can we freely express ourselves rather than pleasing people, rather than following the mainstream or following what my old friends did. Because if you start resonating on different frequency, if you stop to move into a different area, you want to become like other people. Oh wow, actually they do something I want to do now. Actually, those friends, they do not really, I love them, but actually, no, this is not how I want to proceed with my life. So I was in this crossroad in my life as well, where I had to say no. And this is difficult because you kind of don't want to be alone. But the truth is that you're never alone. You're never alone. And it's about becoming your own best friend through feeling, through listening, and to taking certain steps. They might feel uncomfortable first, but it's the unknown that holds all of those pleasures, all of those gifts as well. So going into a new direction and taking some risks.
Yes, and knowing and trusting. As you said, trusting.
And this is the knowing and the trust is a big one, and people lost their trust. But this is basically about learn to trust yourself, learn to make the decisions that help you trusting yourself more, and you're capable of trusting in the divine and the universe even more.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us more about, the importance of listening, feeling, and expressing. But really more, what part do they play in connecting connecting our mind and our body and connecting to ourselves.
Yeah, the first time I really had silence and I could really properly enjoy the silence of the void on purpose, like with tapping into it, was through opening the heart.
Yeah.
And meditating on the heart, but also meditating on the other chakras. Our 7 main chakras in the body, but also above. And through feeling and tuning in into those chakras and really learning that we're actually more than this physical being. It starts at first with the acknowledgement that there might be more than this physical body. Well, it was completely new for me in my perspective. But it's about the heart, because when we're tapping into the heart, into the center, and we really learn to love ourselves and therefore then others, then we start to listening. Because when we're in the heart, the mind gets quietened down. It's like getting yourself out of the head and into the body, into the feeling, into the heart. And from there on, the mind becomes more calm, more still, and you're capable of really receiving the informations and all of the answers. And you see that life is way, way more effortless than it is through, oh yeah, I have to, and I should do, and and not at all. It's basically slowing yourself down, dropping into the feeling. And then, what I say also is feel your way to fulfillment. You cannot only think your way through it. We are manifesting through our emotional states. So we have to heal those emotions. We have to feel first. And whatever it is, we have to feel it. And then we are capable of feeling that part. And then we can move forward with an expanded awareness.
Yeah, I love that. I love that that we are really manifesting beings. And when we can connect with our heart and feel and express what's in there, then I really, believe that, the universe, we allow the universe to perform its magic.
That's it. We're allowing it to come our way. We're not trying too hard. We are really allowing it to come our way. And this is really, really powerful.
Yeah. What I'd like you to do, what I'd like to ask you, Jarne, and I know this is putting you on the spot because we haven't discussed it, but it's coming strong, is would you like to, because you talked about meditating and stuff, would you like to guide us in a short meditation where we can, listen to our feelings? Or to be able to get in touch with our heart and to connect to our heart, to connect to our body.
Sure, I'd love to. Yeah. Just doing that easy. I'm just closing my eyes down as well. It's very simple. Basically, what we're doing is at first bringing our intention to the center of our forehead, our third eye, the all-seeing eye, or maybe it's the first eye, the eye of the mind, sitting where the knowing, the clarity is sitting. And from there on, we bring our intention to the chest area and feeling into our hearts. Whatever they tell us is totally fine. Whatever information comes through is perfect as it is. Because so are you. You are perfect the way you are created. We are all created from the same source. In the heart, there's no separation. We are all connected. We are all knowing. And we are all love. We are made of love. And this is what we're here to share. And in this meditation, I just want you to drop deep, deep, and deeper into your heart. And just connect to the heart from the center of your forehead. When you focus on the center of your forehead, you really start seeing clear, become more calm. Everything becomes really really easy. And this is how life is meant to be. Life is meant to be easy. Because when you're in your own natural flow, follow the heart, you always get pulled into the direction you're meant to. You always learn the lessons you need to. And if you learn, you earn experiences. And with experience comes wisdom. And every single experience you had in your life was there for a reason, to make you this beautiful being you are currently. And through that, you can help others who might through some challenging times. And with your state of awareness, you're capable of helping many, many others who are going through similar things because of your understanding, because of you've done the healing work on yourself, and you're able to facilitate healing for others as well. Sending love and gratitude to who we are, all one, we're connected. We're grateful. I say thanks to you all for having the opportunity to do this little meditation. Namaste.
And namaste too. I'm just allowing that energy to flow through us, and it's so calming, but really, really, really wonderful. So thank you for that, Jarne. And I'd love to keep going, but the energy, it's like just sitting in silence, sitting in stillness. Can I ask you, in general, how much do you meditate each day roughly, and like sitting in stillness?
To be really, really honest, this is a big part of my day. That no matter what I'm doing, I have this stillness.
During meditation, just about, yeah.
Meditation to become familiar with. And I do meditate around 2-3 times a day, but I'm doing some breathing exercises. But really, I'm in that place of peace really almost all the time, like 24 hours. I wake up like that. I go to bed like that. And I always have been in that state. This is why I always had time to listen and time to receive.
Yes.
And it's for me now time to share that gift. I mean, there was not even 5 minutes, I think, of meditation.
Yes.
When I work with clients, I channel energy. We activate the chakras. We're becoming even more aligned and energized in that knowing. So it's really, really a beautiful gift to share, also through the voice, through the vocal effect, the frequency that is transmitting. And thanks for the opportunity to share that.
Yeah, well, I loved it. I know everyone who's watching, whether it's on the replay, on live or the replay, it's will also take a lot of benefit from it. And I'd love to know people's experiences, but it's also helping the world. It's very good for us as human beings, but the effect of that has on the world in general is amazing. So thank you, and you are more than welcome to come back and offer anything like that for our community at any time. And I'd love to have you back on for more discussions too. And before we do wrap up, because I know we were talking about before that you've got some exciting things in planning, so we will definitely have you back when that's ready. But before we leave for today, is there anything else that you would like to share that can really, help people to learn it, not to learn, to allow themselves to listen, to allow themselves to feel, to express? I know a lot of people, myself included, I went through a big stage when I was so caught up in the doing that I forgot how to feel. Like I had to, actually go back and say, give myself permission to feel. So is there anything that you would like to share for all our listeners?
Sure. It's not to become someone different. It is to become more of who you already are. What is change? I mean, change is constantly. And we are changing, we're evolving, and we're expanding. But deep within your heart, deep within your soul, you know the answers and you know where you're going. And it is basically about letting go of the things you don't want anyway in your life. And the more you let go of the things you don't want in your life, the more you let in the things, or you make space for the new things to enter your system, your being, your life. And being in that place of doing what you love, and then you love what you do, the joy is guaranteed. Yeah, do what lights you up, and say no to the things that do not longer serve you. Love them for what they are, but if you want to go that way, go that way. And the unknown has lots of gifts for you.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much for that. It's been an honor, and I just like, and talking about it's been an honor, I'd just like to honor you for the gifts that you bring to the world, and for sharing your passion, to sharing your journey. Because one, it's very inspirational, inspires other people. But like I said, I really believe that, when we can do this, when we can share our journeys, and also to come together, to feel, to express, to listen, we're just uplifting the world in such an important way. So thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. I said we won't be putting Jarne's links in the comments, but do hang around. We will be having another conversation when Jarne's got some very special news coming up sometime.
Exactly.
Have a good day.
And if it's a message on Facebook, feel free to reach out if you feel to. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Sure, not a problem. And thank you. Easy.